Greetings, this is Fallon Hart. So Trump won the 2024 election, and personally, I'm quite happy about this. I've had this for a good amount of time now, wore it during the stream the other day. Quite happy about this. Why the hell does a Brit care about the US election? Well, because as much as I wish this wasn't the case, what happens in America affects us over here. Again, wish it wasn't the case, but it just is. You know, a part of it isn't really helped by the fact that America says jump and our cock of a government goes how high. But it's just the way it is. And any single social or political issue, like, you know, the whole race thing and gender thing and sex thing, whatever, it gets ported over here, right? And we act as if anything that happens in America is also happening here. Despite the fact that we may both speak English, not Americanish English, but we're very different cultures. We're very different cultures. But again, it just happens that way. But I saw something the other day after stream, too late to record a video. I want to do it now because it perfectly encapsulates kind of the issues I have with the discourse over this political bullshit over the last few years, right? There's another thing I wanted to show after that as well that I saw today. So let's start off with this one. Hi, Asmongold. I'm assuming this is on TikTok, which is why it's shaped like this and so on and so forth, and why I've not seen it because I don't use TikTok. But let's just watch this.
I might wake up a motherfucking slave.
Did she just say what I think she said?
I might wake up tomorrow as a motherfucking slave. Now, let's just assume that this person isn't being dramatic for the character and she actually believes this. That is terrifying. Yeah, we can step back and go, her, fucking idiot, liberal moron, we can do that. Or we could recognize the fact that this person is paranoid the fuck out to the point where she thinks slavery might come back. Are you fucking high? How brain-rotted by these politics do you have to be to believe that? But the fact remains, there are people who believe this shit, right? Assuming she's being genuine. Which, considering how cray-cray a lot of people are over this shit, I do believe she is. Imagine being so mind-fucked by the political discourse over the last few years that you genuinely believe all the propaganda and believe Trump being president for a second time, by the way. He's been in office before, slavery didn't return, and they said the same thing then, but apparently slavery might return because Trump is back. Are you serious? Are you serious? The fact that this bullshit is doing this to people pisses me the fuck off. You're fucking with the vulnerable. You're fucking with the gullible. And this is the result. Asmon said this a little while ago, where it's like, we're going through a mental health crisis that, like, the likes of which we've not seen before. Like, we're in one hell of a mental health crisis. We really are. So many people are fucked in the head. Like, I'm not taking the piss out of this woman. I genuinely feel bad for her. Imagine genuinely believing that slavery might fucking return. How fucked is that? And this is what this shit is doing to people. And the people who fucking, like, claim to support these people, claim to support this demographic, are making people this way in order to get their way, in order to get their guy into power, in order for identity politics and political power and power in over. It's fucked, dude. It's absolutely fucked. Let me go into another one.
I'm surprised at the result, but I'm not surprised. As a woman of color, I was so hopeful that a mixed-race woman married to a Jewish guy could...
They can't stop.
It had nothing to do with policy. I think this was a referendum of cultural resentment in this.
It had nothing to do with policy. She doesn't care about her policies. She doesn't care that the woman about the policies, what the woman she wants to, like, put into office will do. She doesn't care. All she cares about is her skin color, her genitalia, and the race of the person or the ethnicity of the person she's married to. That is fucked. Do you not realize how fucked that is? You don't care about the policies. They're not white. They're not male. And they're married to someone that is a Jew. Okay, that's a good thing. That's all I need to know. Are you fucking... Oh my god. Like... What? Like, seriously, what? How do these people not realize? Does it even translate what they're saying? They're racists. They're sexists. That's what these people are. And everyone can see it. And the fact that they're being so blasé about this, so mask off about this, really showcases that, yeah, these people do not recognize what they're advocating for.
Country.
I'm obviously very disappointed. I'm very sad. I have no regrets. I worked hard as hell to elect the first Black Asian woman president. History slipped through our fingers again, and
So you don't care what happens to the country. All you care about is your name being in the history books, right? That's what you care about. You know, there's a lot of people that wanted to be permanently remembered in history that have done some fucked up things just for that. Oh, and they've achieved it. Mass deaths, mass suffering. Oh, they've achieved that. That's what fucking Putin is doing at the moment, by the way. He's so old, he wants to live vicariously through Russia's past. That's why he's doing this shit. He wants to be remembered in the history books. Because he's a weak bitch. That's why he's doing what he's doing. That's why you're playing with your country's politics, your country's future, just so you can get into the history books. Fuck you.
A commitment to our LGBTQ, to our immigrants, to our elderly, to our young girls, to the women.
Let's just list off all the people that we've convinced their lives are going to end, that they're going to go into internment camps. Let's just list off all the people that, like, we're going to try to make, like, that other woman. We want these people paranoid so they can act on our behalf. That's what she's doing with that.
They can't stop.
We will not stop fighting.
Why should they stop? Because it's working less and less every single time. Identity politics do work, but they also work in an opposite way. They will alienate the people that, you know, are the opposite identity.
The problem is that the boy has cried wolf too many times. And we know, more and more and more of the public know. Why did Trump win? Trump won for numerous... This was 2016 all over again. Trump won for numerous reasons. One, Biden had just been in office, and that was one of the most disastrous presidencies we've ever had. Kamala, it was just more of the same. She was already there. She wasn't going to win for that alone. She was also very divisive. Yeah, she was on the left, but she's also a cop defender. And American cops are thugs. We all know this. Unless you're a right-wing sycophant, we all know there's some fucked up shit that goes on with American policing, right? On top of that, the only thing she had was, I'm not white and I'm a woman. That's the only thing she had. Over and over again, Hillary Clinton pulled this same bullshit. She's disingenuous as all hell. The only reason she got votes at all was because she wasn't Trump, she was left-wing, and tribals are just gonna vote blue no matter who, and because of the identity politics, which thankfully, this election has proved that the vast majority of America has not fucking bought into. That is hopeful as shit, dude. And more people are getting sick of this, and you know what? We are the silent majority. It's the same thing here in Britain. We are the silent majority. We cannot speak because we will lose our livelihoods, because we will be branded monsters. We will be assumed to be racist and sexist and homophobic, despite the fact that many of us, there's a rainbow one over there, many of us have advocated for that shit for fucking years. You know? People are sick of it. They can see they know what this is. They know they're being lied to over and over and over again, and these people keep treating them like they're idiots. And what happens to real gullible idiots? They end up paranoid and afraid constantly. So the only people who support them are fucking miserable 24/7 because they believe they're living in a legitimately oppressive regime. This is fucked. You are making the lives of the people you claim to speak on behalf of a fucking nightmare, whilst ruining the lives of everyone you will throw under the bus because they're white, because they're straight, because they're male. Fuck you. We can all see these politics happening. And what always results in these politics, whenever you get someone in power that genuinely believes in this shit, you get tyranny. But that's the thing. The people in power at the moment, like the status quo, they don't actually believe in this shit. These people talking about it right now, they don't actually believe in this shit. They're using it to control you. That's what they're doing. It's the one play-by-play they use over and over and over and over and over again. We can recognize the pattern and we can see it. People can see it. Average normies in the street that I speak to while walking the dogs or going shopping, getting into random conversations, we're all on the same fucking page. It might just be Liverpool being a black sheep again. I don't know. I don't live in America. I don't live in different parts of the UK. It might just be Liverpool being a black sheep again. But I'm pretty fucking confident that the vast majority of the people are on the same pages about this. The very fact that I'm not racist, I'm not sexist, I'm not homophobic or anything like this is why I support Trump. Which is mind-blowing to some people, but he's not these things. Everything he says is twisted. And what that means is when Trump does say something fucked, which he has, people won't believe them. Because he's cried wolf too many times. Quit the bullshitting. We all know you're doing it. And please, if you genuinely believe that Trump is, and you've made it through this, you genuinely believe that Trump is going to result in all this bullshit, look back at 2016. Genuinely. You're fine. Nothing happened. You're fine. I've seen too many people online and whatnot get truly paranoid over this shit. You're fine. Armageddon isn't coming. It's just going to be another presidency. And quite frankly, probably more stable outside of the people that are paranoid that will go apeshit over this shit. Which won't be Trump's fault. It'll be the propaganda's fault. You know? Don't get me wrong, no one that rich gets that rich without skeletons in their closet. I'm not a worshipper of the guy, okay? He's gonna be fucked in some ways. But that applies to, like, everyone who could ever get in office. I'll take the lesser of the evils. And considering I hate most politicians, and I like him, I don't think it's that evil. But we'll see. One last thing I want to stick on the end here.
It would help if we could regulate social media, because one of the biggest offenders is D.C. and Congress have not been able to do one thing in regard to the rogue corporations of social media.
It's not going to get any better with Elon Musk now in the administration.
Now they want to regulate social media. Do you remember what I said? They don't want fairness, they want control.
Yeah, Twitter is no longer just a massive mouthpiece for the left. So now they want to regulate it and control it. Asmon's right. They want control. They want social media to be just another branch of the propaganda machine, just like television. And for the most part these days, it is. Anyone who's been around for a long time remembers what the wild, wild west the internet used to be. And I'll tell you what, back then, people used to get on better. People used to get on better back then online. Don't anymore. Way more fucking crazy fighting online these days than it used to be. The internet never used to be this much of a fucking cesspool. It is now. And Twitter was a cesspool long before Musk took over. Long before Musk took over. The only thing Musk has done is he's turned Twitter from a left-wing propaganda platform to a platform in which the most unhinged batshit fucking takes from every corner of politics and ideology is spouted. You're never going to find anyone really reasonable on that platform, and if you do, they're not going to remain reasonable for long. They're either going to be radicalized or they're going to fucking leave. I'm not on Twitter anymore, by the way. So, yeah, Twitter's still a cesspool, but it's not a completely one-sided cesspool. Although, with Elon Musk banning certain words like cis, it's starting to get that way. I have no doubt that Twitter will eventually turn into a right-wing propaganda piece, because Balance? Equality? What the fuck is that? Tribal, tribal, you know? But no, I love how completely fucking mask off they are. They don't consider what they're saying to be a red flag or a warning sign in any way. They're outwardly calling for censorship of dissenting opinions. That's legitimately, blatantly what they're doing. And they're so used to having their way, to having everything in their controlled little bubble, that they don't think twice about how what they're saying will be perceived. This is why Trump won. This is why Trump won back in 2016, because people had been sick about this for a long time. And now that this cultural rot has spread to the mainstream like never before, it's affecting all sorts of industry, it's affecting the arts, it's affecting fucking everything. It is a social cancer. Now that that's happened, Trump has won in an absolute fucking landslide. I actually am a bit concerned about just how much power the right has at the moment, because it's not just Trump that's won. Like, I don't know exactly how it works in America, but the entire kind of like, is it the Senate or the Congress or the seat or something? The other powers outside the president, because it's not just the president, there are other bodies that control other things. Yeah, they're all right-wing as far as I'm aware. That's concerning. Because then we're just going to have the same bullshit again, just, you know, in the reverse. But this is what happens. Whilst I was growing up, the right wing were a bunch of authoritarian, ideologically driven busybodies that wanted to just control everyone. These days, it's the left wing doing that. It's the exact same MO. Different ideology, same mentality. Exact same MO. And eventually we'll pivot back to the right, and we'll get the same bullshit from the right again. And then we'll pivot back to the left, and we'll get the same bullshit from the left again, because people never fucking learn. Never, ever, ever fucking learn. We just repeat history over and over and over again. And the more I learn about the past, and the more I learn about history, the more I realize nothing has really changed. We are dealing with the exact same bullshit. The paint changes a little bit, the framing changes a little bit, but at its core, it's the same shit over and over and over and over again. But yeah, hopefully, considering we haven't got the status quo like leader in charge in for a change, maybe some actual positive change will happen. We'll see. But I'd rather the possibility of positive change coming in than yet another fucking status quo candidate. So, yeah. Stop paying attention to the news. The news media doesn't give a fuck about you. It just lies to you 24/7. If you pay attention to them and you believe them, they are going to leave you miserable and paranoid. That being said, alt media, a lot of that also has its own agenda. Don't follow that blindly either. Be your own fucking person, use your brain, and trust fucking no one. Bye for now.